Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is Future Trading with Mike, and today is July, I believe it's the 8th. Yes, it is. July the 8th. It is Friday morning, and we're looking at the ES futures. I want to cover a quick topic this morning before I jump into the actual live recorded session here. So if you're tuning in this morning, thank you everyone who's currently watching. The topic at hand is I'm going to show you just a couple of entries here, a price moving up to an area of supply. Because the question is, how am I so great or so accurate at becoming taking sniper entries or using a simple strategy surrounding supply and demand? So yes, I don't consider myself a sniper, but I do execute my trades pretty well as far as knowing where to get in and get out pretty quick, just depending on what the market's doing and how prices move, whatever the case is. So we'll jump into the video right now. I'll cover that topic about how am I such a great and accurate sniper when it comes to the positions that I put on. So I wanted to go and take a look at just say, for instance, where there was an area of supply on June 28th that was created right here. And then we see here on July the 3rd, where I had this purple line right here. So price was chopping to the downside, was moving to the downside, making lower lows and lower highs. So you always want to be looking for structure breaks and price moving in one particular direction, whether it's price making higher highs and higher lows, or making lower lows and lower highs when I move to the downside. In this case, we're making lower lows and lower highs moving to the downside, and then we get a nice pullback here on July 3rd, early part of the morning here. This is just an example, but I want to show you how I get in so quick, how I execute the trade to where it makes it seem like I can, like if I was like a sniper out in the field, and I can see that position, I can see that target is sitting way out here. When I say target, I mean the area of where I should be interested, waiting for a rejection, waiting for something to happen. And if I get that right movement, then boom, I take that sniper entry, right? So I'm executing my strategy of following supply and demand and taking my trades, okay? So price pulls back to this area here around, about 3 o'clock, a little after 3 o'clock on July the 3rd. That's wee hours of the morning. Bumping up against this area of pretty much this zone we have right here at supply zone. So let's go to the 12. Now, being that now this is the 60 range chart, okay? So being that we're hitting that area on the 60 range chart, I want to go now and scale down, like I always talk about in my videos, do a scale down approach, okay, to see how I can get into that sniper entry, how I can get into that sniper trade, execute off a strategy of now that using the strategy. Now that we're hitting the area of supply off the higher time frame, which is the 60 range chart, okay? So let's kind of cover that again. I'm talking about an area of supply off the 60 range chart. Now I'm going to try to use my snipering, kind of strategy to basically looking for structural breaks on a lower time frame, and then a pullback or retracement back to get into that trade, okay? So let's see if we can kind of use our sniper skills to see what the market's going to give us or show us in that area there. So let's go to the 12 range chart now. So we're going to the 12 range chart, knowing that we are in an area of supply off the 60 range chart, okay? So the 12 range chart is my anchor chart, okay? And what we see, that's that area right there, okay? We're just a few ticks away from hitting that zone, but that's okay because, to me, we're in that area, okay? We're only a few ticks away, less than maybe 4 ticks, whatever the case is, I call it, okay? I mean, that, to me, that it satisfies the, price satisfies as moving to that area, that zone, to what I'm going to call that a zone, and I'm going to be looking for entries now, okay? So now that we're on the 12 range chart, okay, this is where we kind of scope and start really kind of zooming in real close to see if we can get into a sniper entry using our strategy, okay? So here's the key. What we're waiting for is for a structural break to the downside, meaning price to start breaking structure to the downside, all right? We wanted to see it take out structure and then be making structure to the downside, okay? So right here, boom, price makes a high right here, right? We have some levels below us, right? So what I'm looking for at this point now is price to start breaking level, break a level to the downside. Pushes lower, pulls back, green candle, boom, breaks it to the downside, okay? Now, the key area of where I probably want to see price pull back and this little move or leg to the downside will be right here. This will be my zone of target right here. But price doesn't immediately pull back to that area. But as it's moving to the downside, what do you see it doing? It's making a low, pull back, a lower high, lower low, pulls back, lower high, Okay, this is support right here. Because it made a low. Boom, it breaks lower. Okay, so what's it doing? It's moving lower to the downside, right? So on this move here to the downside, price pulls back, breaks lower. Okay, so now that it has broken structure, and it also has broken structure to the downside, meaning breaking areas of support or lows as it's moving to the downside, we're looking for an area for price to pull back. Okay, so even right here, small little zone, but we'll mark it. Because a little, I call that a small area of selling came out of that area, but it is still a zone that we can mark off right here. Okay, price pulls back to it. Okay, let's blow this up a little bit. Okay, we'll blow it up. When price pulls back to it, when I get that red candle closed right here, okay, as price retraces back, at this point here, we don't know if price is going to break higher. But the moment we get the rejection, okay, price closes pretty much below the box almost, in a sense. Which is what we're looking for is price to form a red candle when it gets back to the box, the zone, the small area of supply off the 12 range at this point, okay? All right, closes red, I'm going short, okay? Now, there's two things here. I can go short, take it back down to the lows right here of this little move to the upside, meaning price rejects here, candle closes red, take it back down to the lows. My thing is I want to take it back down to, you could do that to kind of, take it back down to the lows right here to kind of get out the trade quick and be more of a scalping type thing. I am a scalper, okay? So that's the way I pretty much trade. But if you're really trying to, I guess, maximize your position, whatever the case is, there's two things you can do. You can scalp to the lows, okay, take profit, get into some profit. Or the next thing I typically like to do is that, and what I'm working on too, because like I said, I told you guys as a trader, we're always trying to kind of become better at how we trade, right? Okay, so my thing is I'm working on staying in my trades a little longer. Now that has everything to do with price action, okay? But when we're talking about trying to get into, our sniping our way into a position and executing based upon a strategy that we use. In my case, I'm using supply and demand. I'm going to probably take my trade back down to the lows right here. But what you can also do if you want to carry out is to do what's called a contract to kind of follow behind, meaning basically, okay, if I'm trading two contracts, I allow one contract to take profit down here in this area, which would be my first TP, and then my second TP, which would be the second contract that I'm allowing to follow behind. Pretty much, I want to allow it to. I'm going to take profit at the next level, okay, below its price break structure again. So price, this is the low where I'm going to take my first profit at, right? All right, so what's the next level below as price is breaking lower? Well, you have a level right here. It's not too far off from this low right here. So you can take your first profit here and then maybe take your second profit down here, whatever the case is. But you're allowing that last contract to kind of follow behind, where you're taking profit on the first contract is what I'm trying to say, guys. So that's how you get in. You wait for the pullback. First, 60 range chart, we're marking on supply zone. Okay, I've already showed you that. Okay, we hit that area. Now all we're looking for is structure breaks to the downside. Okay, price break structure to the downside. Okay, as it's breaking structure to the downside, what's it doing? We're looking for lower lows and lower highs to form. Okay, breaks lower, pulls back, boom. Now we have lower low and lower highs. It's a small area, but as price pulls back here, now we have this little supply area, supply zone off the 12 range chart to where we possibly can take an entry if price pulls back to it, rejects, close of the red candle, go short. Okay, as I just mentioned, you can take your first contract off. If you're trading two contracts or three or four, it doesn't really matter. Say you're trading two contracts off at the low of the last move, which is right here, and then your last contract at the next level. Okay, so as price continues to break more structure to the downside, okay, let's see, price continues making structure to the downside. I mean, breaking structure is making lower lows and lower highs. Okay, now we don't really get any pullbacks to where we can, kind of get into the entries because they just keep zipping to the downside or moving pretty quick to the downside here. You can see low, lower high, low, lower high, low, lower high. Boom. Lower makes a low here, right? Okay, so it must bounce. It's coming close to bouncing off an area support below out here, okay? So price gets into an area, this, down here, okay? What do we see? A pullback happen. Where does it come back to? A little zone right here, okay? So we can mark this little area right here. Okay. All right. Mark that area right there. All right. When price gets back to it, we're going to see if price retraces back to it. When it retraces back to it, what happens? Retraces back to it. All right. We're in the zone now. Price closes with a red candle to the downside. Breaks lower. The moment it breaks lower, it closes that red candle to the downside. Pretty much closes outside that box there. We take our trade back down to the low right here. Okay. So if you're, say for instance, again, you're in with 2 contracts. That first contract, if you want to go ahead and take in some profit, allow it to take profit back down to the lows, okay? That second contract, okay? What I would do is scale behind or allow it to fall behind as price is moving lower and take that last contract off at the next level on the way to the downside. Well, when price makes that low right here, pull back against the trade, as it moves lower, if you look to the left, your next level on the move to the downside is going to be here, and price comes down and taps, or whatever the case is. So it's only a few ticks below this last low that was imprinted. So price does make a low here, pulls back, and it makes a slightly lower low with the wicks of these candles to the downside, hitting up against this level right here, so you can get out down here again. So then price just continues to move lower as it pulls back. It keeps chopping to the downside, and you continue looking for things like that until price shows you an area where it's probably going to reverse that. There are reversal setups in the market, and that's a topic I'll talk about in another video, whatever the case is, how to identify a reversal and how to get into them. But this is how you use the supply and demand, how you can get into, using supply and demand, how you can take those sniper entries and just using a simple strategy of supply and demand. It's pretty easy, but hopefully you guys understand that. I mean, and the same thing goes if price is moving to the upside and price pulls back to an area of demand. All right, point in case right here. This must be an area of a reversal. We're going off the 12 range chart now. Where there's an area of demand off the 12 range chart. Okay, price kept chopping to the downside. I was showing you using an example of areas of supply. It moves, making these lower lows and lower highs. Eventually, it must have hit some area of support off to the left hand side, hit an area to where now it's reversing in the market. A reversal is going to be, and when we're looking for a price to make, it's basically price making, breaking structure to the upside, making higher highs and higher lows at this point. So when price is selling and we're looking for a price to pull back to an area of supply, we're looking for what? Price to break structure and making lower lows and lower highs with a pullback. The opposite happens in a demand situation. In a demand situation where price, price, we want to see price start to break higher, making higher highs and higher lows, and then, pulling back. So here's a situation right here where price is making these lower lows and lower highs. Okay, it reverses, pushes up, makes a high here, pulls back, lower high, breaks higher, makes a high here, and then it's chopping to the upside. So we want to see price pull back to an area that we can mark as an area of demand, which means that it was aggressive buying, to be able to kind of start to zoom in, scope in, and see if we can get into that sniper position, using the strategy, okay? So price pulls back, okay? It doesn't immediately do it, but when it does pull back, we're going to go ahead and mark our zone. Our zone is going to be down here at the bottom. It could have been right here as well. We could have marked kind of 2 zones, but here is the area as price was moving higher, making higher highs and higher lows. Well, you don't want to kind of trade the middle of a leg. This is the middle of a leg. So if I was to draw this leg right here to the upside, this is your middle. This is like your 50% area, okay? Now, I'm not using Fibonacci's or anything, but I'm just telling you that's the 50% mark. And you typically don't want to trade, halfway through a move, whatever the case is, at the 50% area of a leg. So the best area to get into is when price retraces back to where the move actually started at, and demand is resting right there. And that's when price comes back to this area right here. We draw the zone. Boom. Price comes back to it. The moment price closes above the box, pretty much, green candle closes. You take it back up. Okay, to, in this case here, price pulls back to that area. Take it back up to the next level, okay, and to a level. It's to the level where, once price closes here, to a level above, to where you may have seen, if price starts breaking structure back to the downside. Well, this area here took out this area here, and it started making structure to the downside, meaning making lower lows and lower highs. So, my first contract would be taken out right here at this area of resistance right here, okay? Now, what you could do is, because this here could be a big swing or move to the upside, is allow price with your second contract, allow price, because this could be a big swing to the upside if you're looking to hold your position. So price closes here, get into the trade, take it back, get out right here, right? Okay, for the first contract, all right? But there could be a bigger movement in this situation here too, is that because its price is moving to the upside, meaning it's making a high, pulls back, making a higher low, making a higher high, okay? So we're out with our first contract right here, okay? Right here when price hits resistance, excuse me. It pulls back. All right. Now, in this case here, you're going to be back at break even. Okay. Now, where you want to position your stop loss at is maybe a few ticks below your entry point, whatever the case is, but meaning below this candle here. But most times, what people would do is position, where the area of support is pretty much, which would be right here in this area right here, when they don't want to see price break below. So basically, it could be below this area here. But if you want to position it right below where you got in at, that's fine. That's fine too. But if you do that, then price is going to stop you out right here. So you can position it right below a supporting swing, which would be this area right here, a few ticks, and that way price doesn't stop you out. But if you do that, okay, then the price doesn't stop you out. As it's moving to the upside, pushes up, pulls back, boom, breaks higher, pulls back, doesn't stop you out. What does it start doing then? It starts moving to the upside, okay? All right? So the next area, what you could be looking for is, as here's a swing to the upside, price pulls back, you could be looking for price to push higher and either come back to this high up here or even break higher, and move back up to the next swing above. So the next swing, once price breaks this high right here, is right here. But again, that's right here, that's high here. So you could actually stay into the move as price pulls back right here, okay? Okay? When price pulls back right here, all right? And once price pushes higher, move your stop loss, if it was sitting right here, okay? Move it up, just back probably to this area right here, because once price pushes up here, pulls back, breaks higher, now it's broken structure. I mean, a high, higher low, higher high, pulls back. Once price pushes higher, bring your stop loss right here, okay? Right here below this area right here. Now, most times price is not going to want to break structure once it starts moving in a certain direction, say in this case, to the upside. As it pulls back, you see, it tries to come back, but it doesn't take it out, and it keeps moving to the upside. In this case here, what you're looking for is price to push higher and take that last contract up to the next level, which would be right here, okay? And price gets there eventually, okay? So if you'd have got into this trade right here at 37.50 is what I'm trying to say, and taking it all the way up to, say, 37.73, so that's almost 25 points, guys, okay? That's almost 25-point move right there, okay? And that's one thing myself that I'm trying to, that I'm working to get a little better on. Now, I am a scalper. Sometimes, depending on the market conditions and how it's moving, I'll trade off, the 12 range and couple that with my 4 range chart and just be scalping, in a situation like this right here, price pulls back. I start looking at my 4 range and then, I see resistance right above. I'm getting in and out real quick and then waiting for the next setup. But I'm going to start working a little bit better on my, my entries when, so-called snipering my way into the market using the supply and demand strategy so that I can hone in pretty good and zoom in and know exactly, because everybody's always saying to me, or leaving comments saying, how do you know, how you execute, how do you get in at such accurate areas in the market? How your position is so accurate. How do you get in and know exactly where you pinpoint your entries almost, and you know where to get in and get out at. I've been doing this for years, for one thing, guys. So I know where to get in and get out. So, but that's the key to it. As you do it more and more and start to trade more and more, you start to become more experienced and developing better skills at trading and knowing where to execute exactly within just a few ticks to get in, and then you know exactly where to get out at. But I want to start holding my positions a little longer in my day trading. So, that's pretty much how I scalp each and every day, guys. Looking for, those so-called sniper entries using that strategy of supply and demand. That's how I do it. So hopefully this makes sense to you guys. And I'm going to go ahead and move over and jump into today's video. And hey, I appreciate everyone tuning in this morning and following this part of the video. If you're interested in joining Discord, guys, the link to the description is down below. So take a look at that. Just invite yourself to the Discord. It is a community where we are sharing ideas and thoughts about the markets. We have, fellow like-minded traders that jump in every single morning to the morning session, and we converse. We converse about what we see going on in the market. A lot of people ask questions about certain things. I know we have some beginners in there, but it's just not just beginners. But for beginners, it's not for just for experienced level traders. The community, we welcome everybody to come on board, and because that's the best way to be able to learn is by other people sharing and helping others. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started in today's video right quick. All right, so looking at the 12 range chart, excuse me, 260 range chart, guys, we can see price made a high right here yesterday at around about the 14 area, 39.14. We pulled into an area of pretty much resistance off the 60 range chart, the higher time frame chart. Yeah, and looking at something, guys, so bear with me for a second. Okay, so and price overnight just kind of bounced, within this area right here and moved to the downside. So last several days we've had price moving to the upside, making higher highs and higher lows, of course, and at the middle part of June since then we've been kind of pushing to the upside, but we had a high here, price pulled back significantly. So the question is if price is going to come up eventually and break this high here and make a higher high, or are we going to, was this just a big pullback to push lower? Okay, we don't know that yet, but right now we are moving within or trading within this leg to the downside right now. And price did pivot, start making some higher highs and higher lows, pulling back to an area of resistance. It didn't quite yet hit this, let's take a look. Area of supply called right up in this area up here. It didn't hit that area quite yet, but right now we're looking at the 60 range, and so far price is just right now it's been making, since the overnight sessions, it's made a low here, pull back, made a lower low here, and that's pretty much it. Now it's kind of moving sideways. So we're going to scale down, look at the the 12 range chart, and see if there's any positions that we can take this morning. We do have a high volume area sitting right here on the 60 range chart. So I don't know if price, made this high here to pull back, just to pull, push higher. So it really hasn't broken in. And let's see. Yeah, we kind of broke a level right here when we pull lower, making this low right here. So I don't know. That's why price looked like it when it pulled back here on the 60 range, pulled back to this area here. And then came back down to this low right here. So it's kind of moving sideways right now. So the question would be if we're going to now break structure back to the upside now. So let's see. Meaning, are we going to get got a green candle close here, green candle close here, a big aggressive green candle close to the upside, breaking this high right here at 39.08, and then coming up possibly breaking 39.14 to move higher. So we'll see what happens throughout the day. And looking at the 12 range now, we can kind of see if there's any areas from which we could possibly maybe get into a move on. I don't know. We'll see. Okay, let's see. What's this thing doing? Let's look at the full range chart here as well. I assume my price keeps rejecting the upper end of this high volume area where we have these areas of resistance, or off the 12 range chart you can see here, and we do have small areas of little areas of supply sitting up here off the 60 range chart. Price tested this area once right here, and then now it's testing that again. It's rejecting that area. So let's see. I'm looking at my full range as well. Let's see if we're going to kind of get any. Let's see. I can imagine on the 60 range chart, we're back at the high right here. This little price is making these higher highs and higher lows to the upside. Made a high right here, pull back, so we're back at the high right here. This high right here. So the question is it going to push higher and break this area of resistance, break through this area of resistance, and maybe push up and tap into this area of supply off the 60 range? We're not too far away from it, so I may just wait. I haven't taken any trades today, so I may just wait and see what happens here. Looks like price is trying to break higher and break through resistance. We got some rejection right around 39.07. You can see it right here, but nah. I wasn't taking that trade there, so I'm just looking to see if price is gonna, what's it going to do here? Okay. Rejecting small area right at the top here, the 12 range, which is the high of this little leg here off the 60. So it's breaking through it now. Maybe if we get a slight little pullback to this area right here, I may go for a quick little scalp right there. But it could push lower, so I'm talking around maybe this area right here. Yeah. Right here if we can get back there, but we'll see. Just for a quick little scalp. I'm not doing too much. I haven't taken any trades this morning, guys, so I just don't like the price action has been kind of iffy and horrible this week for me. Haven't really cared too much for it. Still breaking lower now. So boom, boom, boom. Cancel that one. We'll see. All right. I'm long. I'm gonna scalp this area. Let's see. 10. Come on, baby. Should have taken it below this area here. I'm waiting for the. Okay, come on. Go ahead and get out. Price probably come back to this area right here, 39.10 and a quarter. Okay, just scalping right there. I want to pull back to this little area right here. We'll see what happens here. Just scalping real quick for a few ticks. Bouncing here, little W structure if you want to call it that. And so let's see. Price could actually react in this area right here where it's at now. Or we can pull up to that little red line that I have marked there. I think I'm going to scalp right here. 25. You can pull up higher. I know it. Yep. No, it can pull up higher, a little higher. Okay. Look at it. Bounce right there. My profit target was at. There it goes. All right, I'm gonna scale out, get out the trade. Okay, come back down here to, let's see, 30, 39.09, 39.08 and a half, somewhere around that area probably. I need to be careful here now. Need to be careful here. Yeah, let's scalp real quick and get out. Come on. Go on to scalp real quick. See if I can get filled here. 10 and a half. Looks like I may want to try to push up higher. Don't like this. Don't like it one bit. I think price is trying to push higher. Come on. Yeah, I'm gonna scalp this and get out. Man. Come on, baby. Okay, I'm getting out of that trade there. It may come back down here to 30, 39 or 8 and a half. I don't know. I'm staying down right now. Yeah, I'm only up 14 ticks right now. Let's see if we can get price to come back down here to 39.08 area. I may be interested there. We'll see. Just scalping, guys, right now. Shopping market right now. Again, I'm just looking for a quick little scalp. I don't know if it's going to come back down here or not. We'll see. Boy, horrible price action today. Look at it. Okay. All right, one contract fill, two contracts fill, and okay. Come on, baby. 10. I'm looking for a quick little scalp here. Trying to push lower. Scalping. Come on, push up. Push up. I'm scalping real quick, guys. My goodness. This market. I'm getting out. Okay. Yep, I'm getting out. I think it's going to come up to test this area right here, though, at 39.10. There it goes. Now it moves. Okay. 39.10, 39.10 and a half. There it goes. Now it's moving. All right. Quick little scalp. Another one of my little sniper entry moves. Yeah, I'm not picking up much there. Yeah, I'm only up 20 ticks right now, guys. There it goes. See it? See it? I'll send it out to the community. Oh, man. Look at that. All right. Okay, prices down here testing. Let's see. What is it testing? Yeah, I'm gonna hold tight right now. Yeah, not much going on right now. We're just moving sideways right now. Yeah, just moving sideways right now. So moving a little sideways here. I think I'm gonna scalp this area right quick. See a little rotation rejection going on here, so maybe I'll scalp this area for a few ticks. There we go. Come on. Yeah, scalp for a few ticks here. Probably come back up here to 39.11 and a half or something like that. Let's see if it does. I'm up 25 ticks right now. 39.11 almost, one tick away from it. So I think it may come out just a little bit higher, maybe 11 and a half, 11 3/4 possibly. There we go, 11 and a quarter. Yep, there we go. 39.11 and 3/4, like I said. So I just got a little area for a quick little few ticks there. My patience is kind of wearing thin. It is currently 11:08, up 25 ticks. All right, so it finally broke 39.14 and a half right here, this area of resistance, which was, I believe, the high from yesterday. Yeah. So, yeah, yesterday's high, and it could pull back to this area right here. We have a high volume area here. I'm possibly looking for it, maybe so pull back to the lower end extremity of this area here, maybe 39.04, somewhere there, to maybe move higher. I'm not sure, because we got to be careful, because If you look at the 60 range, we are in an area of resistance where a lot of selling took place at, and we are approaching an area of demand as well. Excuse me, supply up there around 24. So have to be careful there. All right, so we've been kind of chopping to the back to the upside. You can see broke this yesterday's high, making these higher highs and higher lows. We pulled back to this little area here. Price broke up, made a high here, pulled back, higher low, higher high. So let's see what it's going to do. But we got to be careful because, like I said before, we have this area here, the zone here, where price can react and push lower from. So we'll see. See what happens. See what happens, right? This is kind of rejecting this area here. I'm going long. Going long for a quick scalp here. Rejecting this area. Okay. Come on. That's not what I want to see here. It can push a little lower in this low volume area here off the 12 rank. Okay, there we go. All right, I'm getting out the trade now. Okay, I think it's going to come up here and test at least the 39.15 3/4 area, 39.15 and a half. So it pulled back on me a little bit, but I scaled in with another contract to fill the void of that trade there, and we are already at 13.15 and a half, like I said. Okay, so right now I'm up 32 ticks. I'll show you that. Okay, and I think I'm gonna call it a day, guys, and leave it. We're bouncing right here. Price. We probably want to. Well, we just tested that area, so 17.25. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I might call it a day. I'm gonna wait for a few seconds and see what the market's gonna do here, and then we'll see it going forward. Yeah, I'm gonna call it a day here, guys. I appreciate everyone who's tuning in and watching the video today and get this uploaded to you guys. So this is my video showing you, as I did at the beginning, guys, you know, at the beginning of this video, you know, how I use supply and demand. Pretty much the strategy I use to like I said, to help me get into those sniper type entries here on the ES futures, which is the Emini S&P 500. So I'll see you guys on Monday. Everyone have a great weekend. Hey guys, do me a favor as well. Click on that thumbs up button, that thumbs up little icon that you see there next to the subscribe button. Drop a like on the video. If you're watching the videos, please, simply, that's all I ask is that you drop a like on the video. Take care. See you next time.